The playoffs have been a close shave for the Orlando Magic, and now Shaquille O'Neal has the dome look to prove it. He said he got no respect. David Robinson, 73, first place vote to his 12. He shaved his head. He also has TWISM, the world is mine. He has a new attitude from head to foot, and he's ready to step forward.
All right, Craig, there you see the shaved head. Dennis Scott telling us earlier today that he wanted to talk Shaq into it because he said he's been playing too soft. He wants him to be a little meaner. But in the second, third, and fourth quarter of game one, he was about as mean as you can get. Kersey, Salvador, Mihalik, our officials this evening, and we are underway.
Thing to watch with Orlando, there's a lot of movement, and then they will eventually get into their post-up games or a pick-and-roll set.
Shaquille, the fall away. Antonio Davis playing with Dale Davis.
Indiana loves to reverse the ball out of the break, and that sets up Smits one-on-one.
Once again, the shot is short. Exactly what happened in game one for Rick Smits. Jackson lets it fly from the baseline.
Jackson.
They need the easy baskets tonight. Indiana must get out on the break, and they also must get the second shot attempt.
Shaq inside and no avail. He's going to try it again. Muscles his way up. And he'll go to the line.
Let's go back to the fourth quarter. Indiana making a run here in the fourth quarter the other evening. In spite of all of their problems, they came to a crucial time in the game. Orlando picks up 3 offensive rebounds, scores 6 points, wins the game. Larry Brown knows on the road, no easy baskets. You must start with your defensive rebound.
Oh, Hubie, I think you would agree in quarters 2, 3, and 4 of Tuesday night's game, Shaq put on a clinic, and you made a great comment, said he looked like a veteran post-up player in that game.
Well, I thought that he played with a very high IQ for the position. Now, you can see the first quarter, no point, and then the last 3 quarters, 32, 10 rebounds, 11 for 15 in field goals, and then the ultimate, which was the 10 for 12 on the foul line.
And he's 2 for 2 this evening, and a lot of pressure put on by Orlando to start things off.
Now what they do, they use Horace Grant to trap Mark Jackson. That forces the forwards to take the ball, and then that takes precious seconds off the clock, so Indiana is late getting into their offense.
Larry Brown said they were impatient on offense in Tuesday's game. He wanted this man to shoot more. Short again. Ball is loose. Magic come up with it. Here comes Hardaway. If he hurries, he'll have the numbers. To Scott. Anderson spots up and holds up.
Indiana's primary deal outside of rebounding is to stop the threes. They must stop the long-range threes in transition.
That is a kick basketball that will belong to Indiana and a fresh 24 on the shot clock. As we look at Derek McKee, Larry Brown says he wants Derek McKee and Mark Jackson to shoot more. If they don't, this team will be in trouble. They turned down a lot of 12 to 15 footers in game one on Tuesday night.
Well, with Scott on Dale Davis, they feel just get it up on the board, and Dale Davis will take care of it.
There's the problem with doubling. You leave Horace Grant open, who had a wonderful series against Chicago, doing the same thing he just did there.
Well, it'd be a very easy game if you just double-teamed and didn't have to worry about it.
That's right. McKee with a right-handed hook. Anderson had it and saved it. Here comes Penny Hardaway. Scott spotting up for the 3. There it is. There it goes.
He's the guy. He gets it. He puts it right in your heart. In game one, he had an outstanding night, 5 for 11 in threes.
19 total points. The Magic on a 7-0 run. They lead it by 5. Starting out a lot better than they did in game one. Count the basket for McKee. We also have a foul.
Larry Brown made a very good point today, and that is we must make them guard us. And by that he means take them off the dribble, because he feels that they're a little soft there and they can get the ball to the glass. You cannot settle for the quick outside long shot.
And when he talked about that, he talked about Derek McKee making a move quickly on Horace Grant. He thinks he can take him off the dribble.
Well, I also like using Reggie Miller in a screen and roll, making Shaquille O'Neal step out so that Smits will get away from O'Neal. We'll see how that develops.
Now Smits fronts him. O'Neal gets away and slams it home. No pressure on the basketball, which allowed the easy pass inside.
You know what? We should switch jabs here. That was very, very observant.
After what, 10 games? The light came on.
There you go.
Smith with a right-handed hook.
That's the guy we saw in the New York series that was shot over 60-some-odd% for 6 games. And he must establish that low post game and make the Shaq man play some defense.
Hardaway didn't post up on Jackson much in that first game. He is now. Grant.
3 seconds.
Nope, 3 seconds in the lane on Orlando.
Now, just keep an eye on the big fella. Now, once he goes in the post, see, Smith's fronted him, but he lost contact. Anytime you're front, you've still got to get back into the guy's chest. You do not have to have a space. If you have a space, well, then if the pass is perfect, you're out of luck.
These two teams split the season series as Jackson's jumper off the mark. Shaq tracks down a loose ball, lost it. Here comes Jackson again.
Nice pass.
But Davis, the finger roll won't go. The tip, it falls in.
We have to bring up Dale Davis is still not cured. He needs major surgery on that right shoulder. I was surprised that he went with the right hand in traffic. Usually, since he's hurt it, everything is left-handed.
That's an illegal defense. I think it's going to be on Dale Davis. He was below the free throw line. Larry Brown doesn't like it.
I don't like it either. Mainly because he doesn't have to play that guy out there. As long as he is outside of the lane, what's the problem? He was outside of the lane, and he was above the dotted line, and the guy's outside. I don't see that.
Both teams protected their home court in the regular season. All 4 games decided by more than 10. Scott left alone. Grant tries to keep it alive, and he does. Offensive rebound, second chance points, and it almost led to a 3, and that is something Larry Brown was concerned about tonight.
Yeah, they love to shoot threes out of second shot attempts.
Miller's running jumper. Smith didn't elevate, didn't get the ball. Scott spotting up again for a 3. Jackson giving him a lot of room in the lower portion of your screen.
Well, this early pace is definitely favoring Orlando, no doubt about it.
Hardaway will try his second 3, and he drains the first. Hardaway's 22nd three-pointer of the series. And the Magic now lead it by 3, 12-9, 7:44 left in the first.
During the course of the year, they're in the playoffs now. They attempt 17 a game.
Miller over the top of the backboard. He looked like he forced that 3. Reggie Miller sat out a lot in game 1 between the third and fourth quarters, over 9 minutes. Larry Brown thought he was struggling.
Well, you know, during that period of time, Ron, he went 2 for 10, and also Byron Scott came in off the floor and came in with a big 18 points. So Larry was riding the hot hand. Nice movement.
Grant looking for somebody, 5 to shoot, and pulls the trigger. Dale Davis with the rebound. And he needs some help with Scott putting a little pressure on him.
Well, everyone here releases, meaning McKee and Miller. They need to get the ball to Jackson.
Good quick hands by the Magic. Hardaway leads the break. Scott between the legs, inside, nice pass to Nick Anderson.
In the early going, Orlando's ball movement excellent, and then anytime they take it into the lane, their kickbacks this evening right on the money.
Much better than in game 1.
Absolutely.
Miller working off the screen. Anderson stays with him. McKee, no place to go. 4 to shoot. Jackson in the paint. Shaq knocked it away. Picked up by Anderson. Second time Shaq has been able to get his hand on the basketball.
Well, they have to get a little tougher in the lane.
Scott hits the 3.
Hey, on the stand-up tonight, did I question that they could make 11 for 23?
They didn't hear the stand-up. 8-0 run by the Magic. 6:13 left in the first. Magic by 8. Antonio Davis.
Oh, man.
Right in the hands of Penny Hardaway. Reggie on his backside. What a move, Hardaway! Count it. Reggie Miller is livid. What a spectacular move by Anthony Hardaway.
Anytime, now watch this pass, there's no one there. Anytime a defender cuts you off, crossover or reverse dribble, because that will take him 180 degrees, and then now you step right through, you catch him on your back. That was a beautiful move by Penny. The best in this league at doing that is Charles Barkley. Out in the open floor, he's beautiful to watch.
11 points for Hardaway, the biggest lead. Davis cuts it back down to 9.
Antonio Davis from Hayward Workman.
Antonio Davis, the second-year pro out of Utah, with his first 2 points of the ball game, and Orlando leads at 32-23. Final minute of the first quarter.
They need him to come in and give him some help because the other night he only had 5 points, 1 field goal.
Oh, Workman pokes it away, but we have a whistle and a foul.
That's the penalty.
No basket.
Basket won't count. It'll be on Hayward Workman.
His first penalty situation.
And as you mentioned, they will be in the penalty.
Ryan Shaw at the line.
Orlando, in case you've missed the first couple series of the NBA playoffs, last in the NBA in free throw shooting, but they are much better during the playoffs at 70% overall.
This young man is an excellent addition to them because it allows them to switch all over the floor anytime that he and Hardaway and Scott are in the game, or even Anderson. You have 3 people of the same size between 6'6" and 6'8", and they just switch along the lines and continue to keep in front of you, and it's almost like a moving zone. But he gives them a good penetrator, a good passer. He's second on the team in assists.
And he gives them a leader in the locker room, too. It took less money to come to Orlando after leaving the Miami Heat. Lead is back to 11. Workman saw the jumper, turned it down. Miller never met a shot he wouldn't take. Shaq, the rebound.
In the early going, Orlando doing a great job on their defensive board.
Reggie just 1 of 4 now in the opening quarter. 2-second difference between the shot and the game. That's the game clock, lower right-hand portion of your screen.
Now they're in a 1-4 set now. I hear a high screen and roll at the Shaq. Great fake.
Hardaway goes the other way, throws it into the hands of Scott, and with 3 seconds on the game clock, it'll be Indiana's basketball.
Well, they're in good shape right now. As long as this pass goes up into the front court. Now they're bringing in Byron Scott right now to give themselves another long-range shooter, taking out Antonio Davis.
Scott, 22 minutes in game 1, 18 points.
The one thing right now, Brian Hill counteracting that by bringing in Bowie and taking out Shaq. They're going to match up defensively here. You do not want to pass the ball into the backcourt. You want to try to make this pass up front. You can make a catch in maybe 1 or 2 dribbles and get a high percentage shot here.
Grant contests the inbounds pass. Miller shaking, baking, runs it fly on the buzzer. It will not count. We have played 12 minutes of basketball. Dennis Scott with 11 points. Penny Hardaway with 11 points, and the Orlando Magic head to quarter number 2, up by 11 points. 34-23 is our score. Well, Jeff Turner will begin the second quarter, as will Anthony Bowie for the Orlando Magic, and their whistle for their first illegal defense. Well, Sam Mitchell coming into the lineup for Indiana.
The strategy tonight with Indiana is to bring Shaq Man up to guard the screener in the pick and roll wide. And the reason for that is he's stepping out, and that's opening up the roll guy to either roll or to spot up for an open shot.
Larry Brown wanted to run a little more pick and rolls tonight. Now Bowie trying to chase Byron Scott around. Bowie known for his defense. Barry's known for the foul. Nope, they're going to call it on Jeff Turner. Turner on a per-minute basis in game 1 had the most fouls per minute of anyone.
Now keep an eye right there. Look at this. Bowie just knocked Scott out of bounds there. Now as he pulls himself around, you can see Bowie grabbed him by the shirt first. Listen, he was only fouled 6 times.
And they called it on Jeff Turner, who had 5 fouls in just 11 minutes. He told me earlier today, he goes, I can do better than that. And at the line, it will be Byron Scott, 12th year out of Arizona State, who Larry Brown recruited when Larry was head coach at UCLA. He did such a good job recruiting him that Byron Scott went to Arizona State.
Yeah, but if he would have stayed with Larry, he might have gotten into the finals.
That's exactly right.
Okay.
Well, now they changed the foul. The official score just gave it to Anthony Bowie.
Bowie definitely fouled him, knocked him out of bounds for crying out loud. So, that's good. But, when you're second-line guys, you're really not worrying about the fouls because they're only going to play limited time. In the first game, Bowie with 3 minutes, Royal with 4, and Tree Rollins with 5. They did not rely on their bench very much.
Byron Scott now 15 of 17 in the playoffs for 1995 from the line. Turner will bring it over the stripe. Whistle and a touch foul. It's going to be on Sam Mitchell. That'll be his first personal.
That's a good call. No way are they going to allow you to put your hands on people.
They didn't allow it in 82 regular season games. Why would they now? Here's Shaw working off a pick. The switch, McKee now picks him up.
Indiana's the second group right now must make it happen, even though Shaq's on the floor.
Shaw doesn't get it. The offensive rebound, Shaquille.
They're really hurting him on the glass.
He turns away from the double, doesn't get it to go. Rebound, Byron Scott. Here come the Pacers, trailing by 9 in the ballgame.
Shaq's man wide open.
Whistle, the officials checking. They're going to say it belongs to Orlando. Jess Kersey making the call.
Well, that was a tough pass. That was a difficult pass. They had an advantage, 4 on 3. Right now they're looking at screen. That is a high screen and roll, and then the Shaq is going to pin down over there.
Turner for 3, doesn't get it. Shaq knocked out of the way. Here come the Pacers with the numbers. Mitchell, baseline jumper, nothing but the bottom of the net.
In the game the other evening, Indiana's second unit ran much better than the first unit. They got out and made some things happen.
Shaq inside. Count the basket. We have a whistle.
Whenever you play Shaq, you cannot get caught on what we call the high side. You're not in front of him, and you're not behind him. When you get caught, watch how he gets caught on the high side. Shaq is so strong. See, it's over. Goodbye. So you're better off being in front to discourage the pass, or even in back, make him shoot over you, but not there. Because even if you hit him with a hammer, with a sledgehammer, he's taking you right to the rim. He's so strong.
First miss tonight from the line, but Shaq does check in with 6 points already. Magic lead at 36-27. 10.5 left to play in the second.
I'm glad that the refs are clearing all of this up down on the baseline. The Indiana guys, they run right down the 2 guards, and they sit underneath that rim. And then as they have a choice, they can go out the right side or the left side. And when they get down in here, you cannot allow them to be in manhandle. It's got to be a foul. And if they get that call, that will be so important to their offense. It will open up their cutters. Also, it will get them into the penalty early.
And since they're a good free throw shooting team, that means something. Dennis Scott has to sit down with 2. Donald Royal, number 5, checks into the lineup.
Plenty of time here.
Scott's pull-up jumper is short. Shaw the rebound. Royal played only 4 minutes in game 1. He has struggled in the playoffs. Last touch by Brian Shaw. Ball belongs to the Pacers.
Well, Paul Mahalik was right there. He called it that way. Jess Kersey was on the baseline. Let him have the call because he was standing right next to the play. Here's that baseline screen for McKee, bringing him to the post.
Reggie Miller going to come back into Indiana's lineup. Whistle and a foul. This is going to be on Donald Royal, and we also have a timeout. Reggie Miller back into the lineup for the Indiana Pacers.
Larry Brown said we cannot settle for the jump shots and shoot quick.
Workman off the mark. Larry wanted better work on the offensive boards, and he got it there.
Now, this is a quarter and 3 minutes. That's their first offensive rebound where they're really getting a chance to set up.
Miller, the tough fall-away jumper, and Reggie Miller buries it. Miller with 4 in the ball game as the Pacers going with 3 guards in their offense.
Well, they like to go with that, Ron. It puts the pressure they feel on Orlando, but they're also matching up with Orlando. But it puts a lot of pressure on your front court people to rebound.
Turner just turns away from Mitchell. Count the basket.
Right now, Indiana is small. They have the 3 guards in, and then they have Antonio Davis and Sam Mitchell. So you really don't have any size. Now just keep an eye on this. Take them to the rim. Why? No shot blockers on the floor. Indiana, no shot blocking. You still have Shaq in there. So right now, Orlando, big advantage on the glass.
Turner with 3 in the ball game. That foul was on Antonio Davis, his second personal. In game 1, the Magic blocked 6 shots. Indiana did not block any. Now Smith set the check back into the lineup, as is Horace Grant for the Magic. 10 to shoot for Indiana. Bowie works off the pick, goes right through it. Tries to catch up with Miller, who pulls the trigger and parries it. That is beautiful.
Yeah, he's feeling that corner right now. That's his second one that he's hit on.
Oh, my goodness, have mercy.
That's That's a play. Anytime that he feels that you're fronting him early, he will just reverse spin on you, and they throw that lob.
Workman heads to the corner, has to back out. 7 to shoot. Antonio Davis in traffic. They're going to call a blocking foul on the Magic. Turner thought he had position.
I thought he was late getting there, but he also got bumped from the opposite side.
Shaquille O'Neal, his second 14th foul.
Now keep an eye on Shaq in the middle. See, as soon as that guy, he just spins, catches you on his back, and a lob. Now, what are we saying here? You cannot play off of the ball with any distance when Shaq is in the game. And the reason is because that passer will hit him all night long. You've got to jam that dribbler, and when he ball pickups, you got to get in his face.
Eddie Hardaway, Horace Grant, Nick Anderson back in the lineup. The off-balance hook by Smits off the mark. Magic have the ball and the lead by 10 to Shaq running the ball. Anderson, count it.
Nice pass by Shaq.
That is a 300-pound giant outrunning most of the Pacers. Now Anderson back on Miller, who splits the double team. Whistle, foul. It's going to be a trip. Shaq cannot believe it.
Well, Reggie Miller, as he came off the screen and roll, as Shaq stepped out to either trap him or try to slow him down, Reggie just split them, and the baseline ref makes this call. As he steps through, they're calling with the leg.
And Hubie, that's already the 15th foul. You see Shaq's reaction, but it wasn't on him. It was on Nick Anderson, his first. So Indiana will be shooting the penalty as Tree Rollins comes in, and Shaq with 2 personal fouls will sit down. So they will have 7:33 shooting the penalty, and you mentioned it earlier, Hubie, that's exactly what they wanted. That's his token miss.
Indiana substitution.
Reggie 85% from the line during the playoffs, 90% during the regular season.
In the playoffs, though, Reggie's been struggling. He's only shooting 44 from the field, 40 in threes, though. And then, like you said, the free point, the foul line is 85%. He's getting there 8 times a night.
Well, working on Jackson, he's checked back in. No place to go. 10 to shoot, a lot of time.
It's a clear out.
That's going to be a foul on Reggie Miller. He put the forearm up, then he switched to the hand.
Foul number 31, Reggie Miller.
That'll be number 2 on Reggie.
That's their 4th for the quarter.
Reggie sits down, McKee comes back in.
Derek McKee replacing Reggie Miller.
You see it, Jess Kersey right on top of the play. Both teams using their bench a lot in this game. McKee puts up the hand, in and out for Nick Anderson. As Smits was trying to post up, Tree Rollins got a piece of it.
That'll be number 1
Tree Rollins.
Anytime Indiana's in transition, they come down, they're looking on the right side of the floor. If that ball, if nothing is happening, they reverse it right back to the center or to the power forward, and they take it to the opposite side of the floor. When they do that, they're bringing the next big guy, if it's a center or power forward, right to that ball side.
Well, at the conclusion of tonight's game, we'll be selecting the Budweiser player of the game. I don't think a lot of people realize, he was the 2nd pick, Rick Smits, in the 1988 draft.
Well, he had a great deal of difficulty with tendonitis in both knees. And then a year ago, Larry Brown told him to lose 25 pounds. His minutes per game have increased from 26 to 31. And the scoring is just outstanding because he will always shoot a high percentage.
And an excellent series versus the Knicks. Magic lead it by 9, 6:45 left to play in the second.
I like this. Anytime Mark Jackson gets on Grant, they go right into him.
Hardaway from the arc, carries in his 3rd three-pointer of the ball game.
Oh, they have it going, don't they?
Oh, they do. They know where that arc is.
What's nice about it is the inside people are not forcing things. They're taking the double team and going right back to the hot people.
Nick Anderson slipped and fell. Byron Scott does not take advantage of it. Anderson holding his wrist. Rejected by Tree Rollins. Smits inside. Good dish to McKee. Rolls it over the rim.
They
sure Nick Anderson's okay. He is going to go sit on the bench. Yeah, he's heading right to the locker room.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he got hurt.
Yep, going to the locker room.
It's in his hand there, in the hand.
Well, on that play, you saw the blue wristband on the wrist of Nick Anderson. It's a recurring injury he's had all season. As soon as he heard it right there, he went in. He's going to have it retaped and says he should be back out. But it's a recurring injury that's bothered him all season. That's why he was wearing that wristband.
All right, thank you, Craig. We've got 6:05 left to play in the first half. Magic lead it by 10. Indiana getting tougher on the boards here in the second quarter. 7-2. That is Donald Royal's favorite play. Brian Hill telling us beginning of the week that most teams have taken him out of that because they know that Donald Royal is going to do one thing, and that's take it to the hole. But when the lane's clogged, there's no place to go.
Well, what they did is they lifted people high on the opposite side of the lane, allowing him to go right off the dribble.
And at the line, it'll be Donald Royal. Talk about perseverance. Young man drafted in '87 by Cleveland, went to the CBA, spent some time in Minnesota, went to Israel where he was there during the war, even had to change his name so he wouldn't be injured. Changed his name, I think, to Akeem Olajuwon at one point.
During the season, he started 68 games and averaged 9 points. But in the playoffs, his time has been cut back because of Byron Scott. Nick Anderson just came back to the bench. Byron Scott, we tell you, averaging over 20 points a game now in his last 4 starts.
Smits with the right-handed hook.
Oh, I love that. See, that's good basketball. That's high-percentage basketball. There's a good shot of Nick. Because Smits, once he gets down in there at 7-4, you cannot stop that jump hook.
Playing behind Shaq. He goes with the right-handed hook. McKee, the rebound, outlets it to Mark Jackson. He's got Scott on the right. Byron flips it up, whistle and a foul.
Well, that was a 4-on-2, and they needed that one.
Foul number 20, Brian Shaw.
That's Shaw's first.
Orlando is a very poor transition defensive team. Your problem, though, is you've got to hold them to 1 shot and then clear out. Once you clear out, you'll get 3-on-2, 4-on-3s, but then it comes down to execution.
Well, we've had a wonderful run of NBA playoff games here on TNT, and we're going to wrap it up tomorrow night. It'll be San Antonio at Houston, 9 o'clock Eastern time. Check the time change. It'll be Bob Neal, Doug Collins, and Kevin Kiley as Doug Collins says goodbye to us. He becomes the new head coach of the Detroit Pistons, who has promised to allow us in every shoot-around next year. You'll join us for that ball game as we wrap up our 1995 playoff coverage. Byron Scott gets them both. Cuts the Magic lead down to 7, nearing 5 minutes left in the first half, and Bennett Salvatore again on Mark Jackson calling the hand check. That is Jackson's second.
It's so frustrating when you're coaching and your guys continue to put their hands on people. And the reason is that all you're doing is giving up easy foul shot attempts because they're shooting the penalty.
Larry Brown, 3-time ABA Coach of the Year. 7 years as a college coach, 3 trips to the Final Four, won the title with Kansas. Here's Brian Shaw. And no matter what coach you talk to, Hubie, when you talk about Brian Shaw, you hear that he is definitely one of the nice guys in the league. It was just a couple of years ago in 1993 that this young man lost his parents and a sister in an automobile accident, a tragic time in his life, and he has rebounded from that.
Well, it was an outstanding addition here along with Horace Grant because they not only picked up the playoff experience, but they picked up 2 guys who can defend and also a point guard and then a big forward who can guard his man where you do not have to double team.
Hardaway shows the double on Smits. They swing it over to McKee with 8 to shoot. There's Smits baseline. He goes in the paint. Whistle, traveling call on Rick Smits.
Larry Brown wanted a bump. As he got, you can see as Smith started across, he lost his dribble. And that would have been on the Shaq man. I think the Shaq man knows that he got away with something.
Oh, yes, that would have been his third. It's the 5th Indiana turnover. Dennis Scott set the check back in is Penny Hardaway, the big-time alley-oop again to Shaquille O'Neal.
Now that is in inexcusable. McKee was 10 feet away from the passer, and all they did was throw it right to the front of the rim. You cannot continue to play that wing guy on Shaq's side loose.
Jackson buries the three. Mark Jackson with his second of the ball game. Mark with 8. The Orlando lead is also at 8.
When that ball is picked up on the left side of the floor and Shaq is on the post, you've got to jam that guy. Otherwise, it's a freebie. Oh, this is candy right here.
Here comes Reggie Miller. Knocked away by Donald Royal and saved by Anthony Hardaway.
How about that for a hustle?
Up to Grant. Baseline jumper. No, here come the Pacers again.
4 on 3 here now.
Reggie, great ball fake, and he is fouled on the play, and it's going to be a 3-shot foul.
When Reggie Miller picked up that loose ball, he was out in front 6-8 feet. But give Bowie and Shaw credit. They ran him down. Great hustle at that.
Substitutions number 25.
Eddie Hardaway talking to referee Paul Mahalik about it. That'll bring Reggie Miller to the line. So far tonight, Reggie with 7 points, 1 of 2 from the stripe. Nick Anderson back into the lineup in the Magic.
Very seldom do you ever see Reggie Miller get caught from behind.
Very seldom do you see Reggie Miller missing 2 of 3 free throws.
Especially he's an 89% free throw shooter during the year. Also this year, for the 6th straight year, he made over 100 threes. He made 195 threes this year. He's up there shooting 3 because he was fouled taking a 3.
Reggie Miller, who told me he really didn't get a jump shot, believe it or not, until his sophomore year of high school, said he was pushing it up until that point. He's got a pretty good one now. You see the Indiana bench, and they find themselves down by just 6 with 3:45 left in the half.
And Orlando has played a perfect quarter and a half. Right now, Indiana closing the gap.
Shaq way out front. The middle wide open. Sets the pick for Hardaway. Shaq rolls. Hardaway to the hole. Oh, if that goes in, let's go to Vegas. Oh, have mercy. Who should we give it to?
Talking about a break.
Miller's jumper. He comes right back.
So you cannot relax. They're getting that ball up to Reggie. Now, that's the 3rd field goal he's made as soon as Orlando scored from that corner.
Tip, good quick hands by Reggie Miller, and he gets hit in the back with a camera, and he is down on the baseline. Lower back. Shaquille, no. Reggie Miller went down hard right into the lens of the camera.
Well, the word on the bench is he's got a bruised pelvis bone, and it is very painful, but the trainer says it'd be better off to continue to play now rather than go into the locker room because it may stiffen up. But he's in a lot of pain, as you can see, bending over, but it is nothing serious. It's just a deep bruise on his bone, and it's very painful.
Well, thank goodness he's back in the ball game. As Shaq now just 2 of 4, but you can see trying to stretch it out. Orlando led by as many as 12, but Indiana has cut it to 6 on a 13-7 run the last 4 minutes.
Get it out. If they just get out and push, it's there.
Final 3 minutes of the first half. Orlando leading by 6.
High screen and roll. You see where Shaq is. Now Smits is going to be open underneath.
Being guarded by Grant, who gives up a lot of inches. Smits kicks it. They move it around to McKee for 3.
Oh, an air ball.
Grant all the way down court by himself. Nobody saw him.
That was an air ball by 3 feet to the right.
I think the wind caught it. Grant backing up on Jackson again.
Yeah, well, once again, the switch. See, you switch. Horace Grant's going to take Jackson to the post.
Oh, Scott. Reggie Miller may have gotten a little piece of that one on the 3. Davis tracks down the loose ball. 7 rebounds now for Dale Davis. McKee in the paint, uncontested, misses. Jackson to Smith. Shaq almost tipped it in, rolled off Rick Smith's head. Ball will belong to Orlando.
In this first half, some of the weirdest things have happened to Indiana, okay? Now that should have been an easy basket right there. They cannot get a loose ball. At the other end, that loose ball gets batted around and it goes up into the basket. They're losing anything that's bouncing on the floor. It's Orlando's half.
They only trail by 6. There's the double by McKee. It comes quick. Hardaway, one dribble, back to Anderson. He'll launch it from 3. He'll drain it from 3. The 7th three-pointer of the night for the Orlando Magic. Magic tonight 7 of 16 from the arc.
Give Orlando credit. They are making the extra pass time and again, and they're catching Indiana in the rotation.
Jackson has to give it up. Antonio Davis short on the jumper. Shaq knocks down Jackson. Hardaway to Anderson.
Got to be careful here. Right now the lead has gone up to 11. You have a minute to go.
5 straight points by the Orlando Magic.
Staggered screen down inside for Miller. They're just switching out.
Scott has to pick him up. McKee baseline. Ball's loose on the ground. Shaq had it. We're going to jump it up. Good hustle by Dale Davis and Shaquille O'Neal.
One thing you do not want to have happen here now is that Shaq wins his tap and they throw long.
Oh, Davis got up. Miller for 3. Reggie Miller buries it.
That was 2 steps beyond the old arc.
My goodness, his first 3 of the ball game. Reggie, 12 points in the quarter after only 2 in the opening 12 minutes. Well, Haywood Workman with the foul. That'll be number 2 on him.
They posted Hardaway. Haywood Workman gave him a shot in the lower back. The referee was standing 3 feet away.
38.5 left in the half, and at the line it will be Penny Hardaway. Got his name from his grandmother. First team All-NBA, but I think a lot of people would have to agree that he's still a very young man as you look at the elite company he has joined in the first 2 years.
Well, you can see that. I mean, we're talking impressive, but how about down here? Kareem in his second year, Kuzi, George Gervin, okay? So you can see right there, that's, you're traveling with some pretty big names.
And that young man still has room for improvement, which is scary, especially defense and maybe a little mental toughness. That shot goes down. Reggie Miller.
That was really a hard shot because he came in from the side. He had no rim, no backboard to bank that shot in from.
3-point difference, shot in the game clock. Brian Hill yelling instructions. Penny looking over to see him. 7 to shoot for Orlando. Anderson had Workman posted up. Hardaway with 2 to shoot. 1 to shoot. Scott lets it fly. Carries the 3. His 4th of the half.
I know we've said it a number of times. Their passing in this first half is outstanding.
Indiana, Workman lets it go. Just off the front of the rim. Orlando 8 of 17 from 3-point land. Penny Hardaway 9 assists in the ball game. Dennis Scott 4 threes. Reggie Miller with 16 first half points. 14 in the quarter, but his team trails 61-52. They need to come out with a fire that they had in that first half.
They just had 2 guys playing Smiths without the ball. Grant as well as Shaquille O'Neal. Now you cannot do that. In high school and college, yes you can. In the pros, you only can double team a guy in the post when he catches the pass.
Second illegal defense, that will be a technical. It'll be shot by Reggie Miller.
But my point is that they are only 8 down. In spite of everything else. Now here's the third quarter from game 1. The points, the Magic by 14. Look at that shooting percentage. And then down at the bottom, the steals is what ignited quite a bit. And then once again, 4 for 6 and 3s.
Smith's the quick turnaround, not getting it. Right there to clean the thing up is Dale Davis.
Well, Dale Davis has got to show that when Scott is on him, that he can continue to get on the offensive board. Now tonight he has 9 rebounds and 6 points.
Nick Anderson sneaks behind the defense, and Anderson with 11 points.
He caught Derek McKee looking the other way and just beat him to the rim.
Magic already with 4 players in double figures. The quick shot by Reggie Miller off the back of the iron. Anderson with the basketball. Orlando, the highest scoring team in the NBA. The last club to lead the NBA in scoring and win the NBA title was 74-75 Golden State. Oh, alley-oop again to Shaquille O'Neal.
Remember, like you told you, you cannot front a guy in the post unless you jam the passer. The passer will pick out that pass 9 out of 10 times.
Scott has had one, Shaw's had one, Anthony Hardaway's had the alley-oop. They were number 1 in assists in the NBA to Magic. Jackson baseline has it slapped away. 3 on the shot clock. Indiana has it.
We're going to show you the pass down and see the distance between the defender and the passer. Well, you can make that pass. On the ball pickup, you have got to jam that guy.
Only 3 to shoot. McKee will trigger the inbounds pass. Jackson left open. That'll be a 3. Doesn't get it. Rebound. McKee. The putback for Derek McKee. 9 points in the game for McKee. The lead is down to 8, 65-57. We've played just about a minute and a half here in the third.
The pressure is on Orlando. Can they continue to make those long three-pointers at such a high percentage?
Right back to Shaquille, who's doubled by McKee. They swing it around. Scott for a running jumper. Shaquille just cuts the rebound and puts it down.
Big fella's working. He's really moving his feet.
I think you and I agreed he was so active Tuesday night.
He was everywhere.
And likewise tonight. Miller, one dribble, the running right-hander. He is the best of that.
Reggie Miller is taking advantage of Anderson, who's getting caught. Reggie is going inside the screen, and Anderson is trying to follow around the outside, and that's opening Reggie up right now. I'm glad they're looking for him because I thought in the first quarter he was open, and they bypassed him.
Better defense by the Pacers, but Horace Grant left open. Rebound controlled by Mark Jackson. All the way to the hole. Jackson can't get it. Rebound Anderson. Outlet to Hardaway. Shaq is cherry picking. Punch her in, Shaq.
It's just amazing in the NBA when you miss a driving layup at the other end, how 99 out of 100 times the other team scores within 3 seconds. It's amazing.
Another illegal defense. Brian Hill stomps his foot in disgust. That'll be another technical foul.
He knew that it was a good call.
Yeah. He got caught. Reggie Miller, who's hit 7 of his last 8 field goal attempts, will go to the line. He's hit his last 3 free throws. 4 for 6, 5 for 7 now for Reggie.
The way he's running right now, I'm very happy because you can see that he's run right through this pain. But in an awful lot of those injuries, it's tomorrow when you wake up.
Because now you have the adrenaline flowing and everything, and you're keeping it loose by playing, but you sit on the airplane going back to Indianapolis tonight, tightens up. Keon Grant, the double by Scott, they dump it inside. Dale Davis with a jam.
Pretty pass by McKee. They're hanging right here. In spite of everything, Orlando, like we said, benefit of all loose balls as well as three-point shots.
Grant tried to dish it off to Shaquille. Last touch by the Pacers, 15 to shoot. Magic have the basketball. Rick Smith's yet to score here in the second half. His counterpart, Shaquille O'Neal, already with 6 in the third. Scott swinging around. They have to get it out to the safety and Horace Grant. 9 to shoot. Hardaway with the right hand in the lane. Grant had it. The putback won't go. Shaq lost it. Rebound controlled by the blue jerseys.
You made a statement at halftime, and that was Rick Smits has got to start rebounding. And up until now, in the early part of this half, he is not rebounding.
Not going to the glass. Nick Anderson, fans thought it was a block, but it is a foul on Anderson, his second.
Well, Rick took that one a little soft to the glass, and Anderson, watch him come right into your picture here as he comes across to get this block. Now, he catches him on the elbow up. It's a definite foul, but you like to see that in your guys. No easy baskets.
Smith's now 4 of 5 from the line. Now, he picked up his 3rd personal foul on Tuesday night quickly, then picked up his 4th, and there were still 8 minutes left in the third. That's when he had to sit down, and the Orlando Magic continued their run. Gets them both tonight. And the lead is just 5. We have played 4 minutes here in the third quarter. A 5-0 run by the Pacers.
The Pacers, they have not stopped. Just like Larry said, they're giving a tremendous amount of energy in what they're doing.
Shaq, the double comes over, but he spins right into it and drops 2 down.
Well, he looks good again tonight. This is nothing more than an extension of quarters 2, 3, and 4 from game 1. He's showing it to you all. He's giving you every move. And that was Anderson right there, shot that passing lane. And he needed it because Reggie had already drifted. And if he makes a catch, now watch, see, Reggie catches him by going over the top. Now Anderson, nice. Great effort there. If he misses that, Reggie's got a 3.
Wide open. There's Reggie off the screen. Smith's posting up on Shaq. They swing it back to Jackson. McKee turned down the shot. Larry Brown doesn't want to see him do that, and they will have a 24-second violation. But Hubie, Derek McKee again gave it up and had the shot.
He's got to take the shots. Now, Larry has told Jackson and McKee, you must take the shots because we have an advantage if you miss underneath with Dale Davis being guarded by Scott. But if you continue to overpass, all you're doing is hurting the team because you're getting open shots.
Well, Shaq's made his last 7 shots. Now he's up high with Smith. 9 to shoot. Scott trying to pop out. Smith grabs a hold of him. There's Dennis. He'll let go. Buries the three-pointer. Dennis Scott's 5th of the ball game.
He's now 5 for 8 in threes. 5 for 8. At halftime, Orlando only attempted 37 shots, 17 threes.
We saw at the beginning of the game what they accounted for on threes, their offense on Tuesday.
Well, they get away with a break there. That was going to be a bounce pass into major traffic.
Major white jerseys, and we have a timeout. 6:44 left in the third. Orlando back up by 10. First year for Shaquille O'Neal that he's had more assists than turnovers. He has progressed. Smith lets it fly. A little long. Davis stepped on the out-of-bounds line, and it belonged to the Magic. Orlando, one of 2 teams to shoot better than 50% during the regular season. Utah was number 1, Orlando was 2, and tonight, better than that. 60% for the game for the Magic.
Up until this point, Indiana is catching nothing but bad luck on every loose ball. Now, once again, they catch Mark Jackson, Penny Hardaway on a crossover, Jackson with the hand check, foul.
Orlando limited Indiana to no offensive rebounds second half game 1. Now Hardaway backing down on Jackson. Grant left open. Rebound. Nick Anderson, offensive foul. Loose ball foul on Nick Anderson. That is his
foul number 25.
Nick Anderson is saying that he got pulled. He got pulled on the wrist area into him. Now keep an eye underneath the rim right now. See, McKee's got him out of there. Well, see, he just moved him out with that
elbow.
With the left elbow. But he is claiming, you can see it right there, that he was hooked.
Magic by 10 during 6 minutes of the third. Knicks, one dribble, lost it.
Another turnover.
Here comes Hardaway to the hole.
Orlando has caused Rick Smits to turn the ball over in that lane area now. That's his third turnover, trying to dribble into the paint.
Magic got a 7-0 run. They've matched their biggest lead of the game. It is at 12. Smits lost it again. Whistle foul, says Jess Kersey.
Once again, Grant right in his face. Now you can see there's Hardaway from the top, knocking it off Rick Smits. An easy move at the other end. Penny just having a great night once again. Not only with the points, but he came into this half with 9 assists at halftime.
Shaq has 3 out of him.
You got to give Orlando credit. Sometimes Grant comes on the double team on Smith. Sometimes the man from the top comes. So they are mixing up who is coming down on Rick Smith.
Smith's now 6 of 7 from this drive. This will be his 8th free throw attempt of the ball game. He only had 5 in game 1.
Big fella's having fun here tonight.
He is. He got that grin going and the sweat working. I think he really enjoys all this. Now the lead is back to 10. 5:40 left to play.
Up until now, it's been impressive because they have not been able to put them away. As well as they're playing and getting every loose ball, they still have not been able to put them away big time.
Back inside. Oh, my goodness. That is 7'1", 301 pounds with a reverse.
That was just beautiful. But how about the pass? It's just a great pass. They get Spitz trying to rotate back. That's just a hard foul, but how about that? Just takes Dale Davis right to the rim like he was a mosquito. Keep an eye on that. Now watch what happens. Watch Dale Davis come and hit him here. He just comes up on the other side.
Doesn't even budge him. Shaq having problems tonight from the stripe. Only 2 of 6 after that 10 of 12 performance on Tuesday night. But the Magic lead it by 12 inside of 5.5. Now with Scott into the lineup.
With Scott and Miller in there with Haywood, Workman, and the Davis boys.
Reggie with 3. Reggie Miller's second three-pointer of the ball game.
He's having a great half. I mean, he had 16 at halftime, but he's having a terrific second half.
23 already for Miller. Anderson a couple of dribbles. DeGrana uses the left hand to push Antonio Davis out of the way.
Tonight, their perimeter passing is excellent, getting threes, but their interior, in the lane, passing in traffic, excellent.
Miller now being guarded by Anderson, switched over to Shaq. Silly foul, Shaquille O'Neal reaching around Reggie Miller. And that'll be his 4th personal foul.
Now that's 4th on the team. Keep an eye on Reggie on the base. Now watch as he comes up here now. Takes advantage of the screen because he knows it's Shaq. He's going to try to take Shaq every time, or the center, anytime that they step out on him, Reggie is looking to take him off the dribble.
Anthony Avent checks in, number 00, only his 5th playoff game appearance. He's only averaging about 1 point a game. And Brian Hill's forced to do something he really doesn't want to do, is play Horace Grant and Anthony Avent together.
Well, that's what he said today. Now, right now, Indiana must make their run. They've got to take advantage of the fact that Shaq is out of there.
Swing around to Scott. He'll launch the 3. Doesn't get it. They get the offensive rebound. Spitz from 15. Avent jumps it off to Hardaway.
He's missed more jump shots in this series in games 1 and 2 than he did in the entire New York series.
Frustration foul by Reggie Miller. It was a great pick by Miller.
That's only their 3rd, so they should take it on the side.
And that's Reggie's 3rd personal.
And the 3rd team foul. Now you can see Reggie makes a good move here now as he steps through. Hardaway gets a piece of it. That's okay, that's a good foul. They take it on the side.
Hardaway working on Workman. Haywood only 6'3". Now they switch. Antonio Davis on Hardaway.
Oh, Haywood right here on Grant. Bad pass by Hardaway. Now he still had his dribble. All he had to do was dribble to the wing. Grant had Haywood Workman. Anytime Orlando runs a screen and roll, Indiana switches. The point guard is on the big guy every time.
Every time. Scott to the right side. It won't go, but we have a foul, and it will be on Anthony Avent, his 1st personal.
His first penalty situation.
And we're already in the penalty. We have 3:42 left to play in the 3rd. Scott already 4 of 4 from the stripe. But what about Akeem Olajuwon last night, Hubie? That was spectacular.
Yes, it was. And Drexler played terrific, and Horry was outstanding. But then the rest of the guys, the role guys, did everything right. Got to give them a lot of credit. Playing with great spirit, hustle. Rudy T and his staff doing an excellent job.
They head to the Summit tomorrow night, 9 o'clock on TNT. Scott being guarded by Scott. And that'll be an illegal defense.
You like that strategy. Brian Hill and his staff said today they felt that Scott could post up either Miller or Byron Scott. And you can see right there, that was smart. He just held on to the ball, and then they catch Rick Smits because his man is up above the top of the circle. He's in on the dotted line area. And you can see they caught them.
Rick didn't look like he knew where he was supposed to be as Scott misses the technical foul.
Yeah, but we know that Scott, really, not a good foul shooter. During the course of the year, Scott in the low 70s. For his career, he's basically a 60% guy. Now this big advantage here.
Byron Scott off the jumper, tracks down his own loose ball, but can't get the handle on it. And we'll go the other way with the Magic leading by 9, 3:15 left in the third.
You don't mind a guard taking that shot in a 4-on-3 as long as he makes it. But when your center is running down the middle of the floor with a small guy on him, that ball's got to go inside if you miss that jump shot.
Because you're going to hear about it when you walk over to the other side.
That's right.
9 to shoot. Hardaway, forearm by Workman. 5 on the shot clock. Hardaway doesn't get the circus move, but we have the whistle and the foul.
Timeout.
Anytime then.
Well, that foul was on Davis. That was his second, or the foul was on Smits, I should say. That is his third personal foul. Magic will go to the line. They have missed their last 7 free throw attempts. Reggie Miller pleading his case to Paul Mahalik as Penny Hardaway heads to the stripe. He's only 1 of 3 tonight, but he already has 16 points for Hardaway.
Penny Hardaway at the line, shooting 2.
Plus 12 assists.
Well, he's having an excellent playoff in this round in regards to not only the points, but the high shooting percentage and the assists. And during the course of the year, he averaged 21 points. He shot 51%. He shot 35 in threes. He was 77% on the line. So he really had a nice year, but he still has room to really grow.
Oh, yes. Davis, the big step in the paint, count the basket. We also have the foul.
Brian Hill on the side. He thought it was a charge. He thought that Antonio Davis put his... Now just watch as he comes into Avan. See right there. That's what they wanted. They wanted an offensive foul right now. Avan give him a pretty good move, but give Antonio Davis credit. He takes this one strong, right up in his face.
Davis, who bruised a joint, one of his fingers on his shoe. It wasn't hurting before the game, but after Tuesday's game, they thought the hand was broken, even underwent x-rays, only to come out negative. Workman just pestering Shaw out front. Scott on the baseline trying to hide behind the big guys. Shaw almost has his pocket pick. It is. It's going to be a loose ball foul. They're going to call on Brian Shaw.
Wow, that's a penalty.
And a second penalty situation in effect.
Now keep an eye on this. Now you can see Workman got his arm right in there that time, and then they get him, I guess, with their foot, with the leg right there. South, it was right on it, right in that area. Clean look at it. From here, you couldn't see him lift his leg up. All right, but on the replay, they had it.
Haywood Workman, who lives up to his name. Marketing a line of t-shirts that says hard work pays off. As McKee comes in, Reggie Miller will sit down.
Well, I think Larry and the Indiana Pacer coaching staff, look, they just want a little tougher defense from Hayward. They know he's got it because he did it last year. He had a sensational season where he started 52 games and was a bear defensively.
The lead is just 6. Once again, the Magic have led by as many as 12 in this quarter, as the Pacers, though, have put on a 6-1 run. 5 to shoot. Smits with the rejection. The first Indiana block of this series. 2-on-1. Scott doesn't give it up. Takes it himself. Count the basket. We have the foul.
My, oh my. They lucked out on that one. That was really a tough shot. Once that defensive guy commits, you like to see the guy give the ball up. Now here's your first block by Smits, and then as it comes out here, they catch him up in the air. The old story, never leave your feet unless you're going to shoot. Now right now, as Scott comes over, if you give it up, you get an uncontested shot.
Scott 20 of 20 or 19 of 21 in the playoffs from the line.
Well, I know Indiana very happy because Byron really struggled in the Knicks series, but in this opening night, he gets you 18, and he's having a good game again this evening.
He already has 9, and the lead is down to just 3.
Told you, they're pesky.
Scott with 9 to shoot. Backing down on Scott. The double by McKee. Only 3 to shoot. Scott with 2. He'll launch the following 3. My goodness. That is his 6th three-pointer of the ball game. Unbelievable.
2 guys all over the top.
Reggie Miller right around Nick Anderson, who says, where's the help?
Now, Nick Anderson is just screaming at the guys because there was no help that time. He shaded the middle of the floor, and Reggie just blew by. No one rotated to help him.
25 for Reggie.
Good trap that time by Hayward.
Scott lets it fly again! His 7th three-pointer.
You just cannot allow this guy to be open on the rotation. He's 7 for 10 in threes.
That last one, though, was acrobatic. Antonio Davis inside. Horace Grant may have got a piece of it. He comes up with a loose ball. And quickly, the lead is back to 7. The Magic have a chance to push it further.
The difference in the game are the made threes. Oh yeah, that was a shot.
Even, and then Shaw hits the 2.
Tell you what, Hayward Workman got popped that time by the screener. Anthony Avon put him down. But see, the referees, if they think it's a flop, they're not calling it.
Right.
If they did not get a good look at that.
Final 10 seconds of the third, and it has been a dandy. Miller, Anderson up in the air for 3. My goodness, you'll love that.
How about that fake and step under?
And that will not count even if it goes in. 1 3-point barrage. Reggie Miller with a couple, but Dennis Scott with 3 in the third quarter.
You know how tough Indiana can be down the stretch. Do they have a shot here?
Yeah, they very much so. They just want to stay in the game, and hopefully Scott and Reggie can get hot in the later of the fourth quarter. So it looks pretty good right now.
Thanks a lot. Back to you, Ron.
All right, Craig. Dennis Scott, 7 3-pointers in the game. Moves him into second place in the record books in playoff history with Chuck Person and Nick Van Exel, who did it this year. Shaq right underneath with the loose ball.
Once again, Indiana, a deflection. The ball hits the backboard and ricochets right to an Orlando player. The difference in this game, Orlando has made 11 threes, Indiana 5.
NBA record for threes in a playoff game, 8 by Dan Marley. Smits can't get it to go. Point blank range will go the other way. That's a kick.
The foul number 9.
They're calling it a trip. It'll be on Derek McKee. That is only his second personal foul. Now Grant working on Davis.
Well, they bring in Shaq into the post.
There he goes to the hole. Doesn't get the roll, but we have a whistle.
In this game,
The foul number 3.
he's doing so many moves into the lane and then the jump stop, and then he explodes out of that jump stop.
Shooting 2.
Workman, his third.
Well, they have to foul him tonight because he's having a difficult night on the line up to this point.
Only 2 of 6. That looked a lot better. A little rotation on that ball. Mark Jackson on the bench. 8 points for Jackson, all coming in the first half. He sits and watches. Richie Atabata, who was Brian Hill's high school coach, now an assistant for Brian.
Every time in this game that Indiana gets it to you think they're hot, they're going to make their move, something weird happens, like the bouncing of the ball down there right into the hands of Orlando to get a layup.
And Dennis Scott's three-pointer. Scott dishes off. Rick Smits with the jam.
Beautiful pass by Byron.
Smits with 15 in the ball game. The lead is cut to 8.
Over the back.
That'll be number 4.
See, that time they jammed the passer, but Shaq pinned Rick Smits in the lane. Watch where he's going to pin him. Right in the paint. See, Rick was too late getting over the top.
Oh, nice job, Haywood Workman gives it up to Dale Davis. Here comes Hardaway, slaps it away. Wonderful defensive play, Penny Hardaway.
Give them credit. That's the second guy that they have run down this evening and stop a layup. Now this is good defense by Haywood coming from the top. Now just watch Penny come into your screen right there. Perfect strip.
Dale Davis to turn around from 15, nothing but the bottom of the net.
Here they come again.
We'll see. Davis with 10, the lead's only 6 though.
Just like the other night. As poorly as things went for them, they were right there.
Scott for the record, doesn't get it. The quick outlet to Byron Scott. Scott just has to slap it away from him.
Good recognition though, excellent recognition.
Foul number 3.
When that guy launches that 3, you take off because if you get that rebound, you have that guy deep. Now just watch this, see? Scott just took off down the other end. Good recognition by the rebounder in the long outlet pass.
Scott now with 4 personal fouls. Byron Scott 7 of 7 from the stripe.
Well, throughout Byron's career, talking 12 years of playoffs, he's an 83% foul shooter. You know, over his career, when guys come in as role people at the end of their careers, like he did last year when he signed in December for Indiana, and you forget that he averaged over 15 points a game for the Lakers, has 3 rings, and shot 49% for them.
And he stays perfect in this series. Indiana on a 6-0 run. They've cut the Magic lead down to 4. We've played 2 minutes here in the 4th quarter. Magic starting their offense way out front with Scott.
Yeah, this group has done an excellent job in trapping hard and quick down inside.
Scott looking for the double. Just turns baseline. Parries. Only his second 2-point field goal in the ballgame, but he's got 7 threes.
He could not have played any better that time. That was a fall away fade. That was a tough shot.
Workman for 3. Haywood Workman drills the 3. Only his second of the 1995 playoffs. He has struggled, but he buries that. The lead is 3.
Well, he's come in here now and he's giving them a lot of energy. By that we mean at the defensive end of the floor.
What he did last year, there's the slap by Antonio Davis right in the kisser of Brian Shaw.
But you see, you don't need that because that's the team right now. That's their 4th team foul, and we have 9 minutes and 12 seconds to go.
We have a timeout. Magic lead it by 3. And they are standing in the O Arena. Hardaway and Scott in the backcourt. Hardaway and Shaw in the backcourt.
2-man game.
Shaq misses, rebounded by Dale Davis. Here comes Workman. Scott pulls the trigger. That's a 2. Rebound. Grant and Shaq fight for
There's
it.
a break.
To Davis.
They get their first break of the night.
First one.
Now Orlando has picked up every one of those this evening. That's the first true break that they have really had in this game.
Dale Davis 12 points and 12 rebounds. The lead is just 1.
2-man game here.
Back to Shaq.
He reposted. Good call by Gus Gerson. Antonio Davis, he nailed him right in the lower back on that shot.
Number 33, Antonio Davis.
Now just keep an eye on this. Now just watch in the post. Shaq's going to get now. Now, as he goes out, you don't have to worry about Brian Shaw. Now, see where he reposed. Now, watch the arm right in the lower back. Boom. Put him right out of there. Good call.
Shaq's hit his last 2 free throws, but he is only 4 of 8 tonight.
Oh, soft.
5 of 9.
Very soft.
And they dodged another bullet for the moment. Orlando by 4. Still lots of basketball left to be played.
They're going to slice Reggie Miller down inside. This will be a screen and roll right here. They'll bring Reggie off the other side.
There he is. now switches. McKee is hammered to the floor by Shaq and Horace Grant.
Oh, this is
The
flipping
foul
nickel
number
now.
54, Horace
That's going to be on Grant, and they dodge it.
His
That would have been
second
Shaq's
team
fifth.
foul.
Only second, though, for Grant.
They went the screen and roll route right there.
Shaq goes, not me. At the line, it will be Derek McKee. All defensive second team this year.
If he can just pick up his game off the dribble
Indiana substitution of the 13.
in the road games in this series, he can make things happen. Because he has a beautiful stride and he can end things in the lane, and you can't foul him because he's a solid foul shooter. Until then.
You did it. It was your fault.
Okay.
83% of playoffs, and he misses. The lead is 3 inside of 8 minutes to play in the ballgame.
I think look at Hardaway inside, but McKee ran him right out of there.
Brown tries to work on Jackson. The spin move. Anderson for 3. Shaw just punches it out to Hardaway. Now Shaq posting up on Davis. Right inside. Count it.
Well, you say he's just overpowering Antonio Davis. That's exactly right. Because if you notice his last 2 scores, he keeps getting him in the painted area. And there's nothing Antonio can do if the double team is late. And you could see the double team was not even in the picture.
That's 5 on Antonio Davis. Shaq and Grant like it. Not bad. Hit his last 4 in a row. Davis sits down.
Remember, Orlando, they are already shooting the penalty.
He scored over 100. Still a 7.5 left to play in the ballgame. Shaq with 32. McKee lets it fly. Loose ball foul, says Bennett Salvatore.
That's only their third. Yeah, that's their third.
Shaq's 5th.
Third team foul.
See if Brian Hill will go to his bench since there's still a lot of time left.
Oh, he has to do that. You're going to see it right here. He catches good hustle that time by Indiana by slicing right to the inside.
Here comes Tree Rollins into the lineup. Shaq will have to sit down.
Good timeout by Larry Brown. He's going to talk things over right now, especially since Orlando, they're going with Rollins now instead of Avan. That will change things, and Smits must come up big now.
Tree Rollins in the lineup. He is joined by Anderson, Hardaway, Shaw, and Grant. Miller working off a pick. Smits just rolls, posts up on Rollins with a right hand, doesn't get it.
Just the fact that Rollins' body, the 7 foot, and the thought of the potential shot block, but he did get a great percentage jump hook. That's his play.
Anderson on Miller, backs his way in. Reggie Miller, that is number 4 on Reggie.
That's good smart basketball. They feel that they can post up Reggie with either Scott or Anderson. They can take him down inside, force the double team, and then kick out, or just take him if they're coming late. And you can see Smits was late getting there.
Anderson misses the first. 77% of the playoffs, only 70% during the regular season from the line for Nick Anderson. 12 points for Anderson. The Magic lead is now at 7. 102-95 inside of 7 minutes here in the fourth. Game 3, Saturday afternoon in Indianapolis.
High screen and roll.
Green looking for somebody to pick up. He finally finds Smith. Now he doubles. Grant steps right in front of Rick Smith, 4 to shoot. Jackson rejected. Tipped around. Did hit the rim. Here comes the Magic. No, it should not be a 24-second violation.
Then Salvador had it. So did Mahalik. That ball hit the rim.
And Larry Brown saying it should be a foul. Paul Mahalik telling him to sit down.
Clock expired. We'll have a jump ball.
So we're going to jump it up in the middle. It'll be Horace Grant. Well, let's see. It'll be Tree Rollins now steps in. Brian Hill Larry Brown, neither coach pleased with what happened. The Magic had a break at that point. Probably Tree dumping it up at Dale Davis.
They might have had a break, but then Indiana said, hey, grant us foul.
There was about 3 fouls.
Sure, yeah, we would have been shooting 2.
Jackson looked at Smits, didn't get it to him.
Oh, nice move! Oh, what a move!
Rick Smits got Tree Rollins up in the air and took him to the cleaners.
Well, Tree Rollins, you know, one of the great shot blockers that we had in the league. He was either 1, 2, or 3 for 7. Look at his fake. Stepped right underneath. See, Tree was going to block that jump hook.
No basket, though. He put the ball down.
Yeah, well, they're calling. There was the foul right there, way before the shot.
So it's just side out Indiana.
Well, if you're an Indiana fan, you want continuation. You know that.
Grant putting his hand in on Smits. McKee, let's go with the 3 and buries it. His first of the ball game.
Big, and they needed that.
13 points for McKee.
And he needed that.
He needed it for his confidence.
That's right, because he's going to be a telltale sign here. They need him to step up big.
Anderson trying to post on Miller, backs him down.
Oh, 3 guys, somebody's open. 3 guys on the ball.
5 to shoot. Hardaway dribbling around with 3 to shoot. Grant, the offensive rebound. Back to Hardaway. They'll get another look at it.
Great play by Horace Grant.
That is pure effort. One of the premier offensive rebounds. He has 9 rebounds tonight.
Ooh.
Eddie drops that with a left hand, and it goes.
That's taking it to the hole.
19 for Hardaway. The lead is back up to 6. Scott and O'Neal up off Orlando's bench.
2-man game.
Smits wanted to go baseline, but he will launch the 3, and he buries his 2nd of the game and his 8th of the playoffs.
You know, with Smits fooling around down inside in there, McKee's being forced to take the shot, and he's knocked the 2 down.
Something he didn't do in the first series. Shaw, baseline cut off. He's in traffic. He'll have to call a timeout, which he does, and it will be a 20.
Timeout, Magic.
Well, Penny Hardaway and Shaquille O'Neal back in the lineup for the Orlando Magic. So they've got their starting 5 in. So does the Indiana Pacers.
Now both teams are shooting the penalty. Reggie Miller doing a nice job denying Anderson.
Shaq posting up on Smits, no double. Here it comes. Shaq goes right into it, misses the shot. Grant the offensive rebound, but that'll be a 24-second shot clock violation. Grant lost the goggles, went down hard. They also lost possession.
Now that was just good hustle. Shaq gets a good shot in here right now, puts it to the right, and you can see Grant bobbled the ball, and then Dale Davis knocks it loose. The key is that it did not catch rim, and you got the 24-second clock.
The key out front, Grant without the goggles now comes out to meet him.
Well, they're going right at O'Neal.
Jackson doesn't get it. Rebound. Anderson takes it away from Dale Davis, and Davis has whistled for the foul. That'll be his 3rd.
The foul on number 32.
Anderson showed a lot of leap there to get up with Dale Davis.
Penalty
There's 2
situation.
ways to look at that last play. You go into Smits, they double team, they kick out. Now with 15, 16 seconds on the clock, do you force a 3 with a defender running at you, or do you wait and go right back at Smits because O'Neal has 5 fouls?
5-point Orlando lead. 4:15 left to play in the ball game.
2-man game with McKee.
Hardaway shows the double, got a piece of it. Indiana's ball with 10 to shoot.
See, Rick Smits is trying to pass the ball with 1 hand. Well, when the defense cuts off the passing lane, you can't bring it back. 2 hands on the ball when you pass out of there.
Miller. Couple of dribbles in the paint. The finger roll. Reggie Miller.
Now that's doing the Texas two-step, okay? I mean, he sidestepped a couple of guys and got off a finger roll in traffic.
14 points in the half, 30 in the ball game for Miller. Smith's playing behind O'Neal. The double by Jackson. They swing it around. Scott way off the mark. Shaq, the offensive rebound. Can't get a shot off. Pacers with the ball down by just 3.
4 on 4.
That'll be a blocking foul called on Dennis Scott. That is 5 on Dennis Scott, so he joins O'Neal in foul trouble with 5.
Antonio Davis, better defender than Smith. And also Hayward Workman will be coming in for Jackson.
Reggie 6 of 8 from the line tonight is Workman and Jackson.
They've done a terrific job this half in eliminating the threes when you think about it. Not the fact that they haven't made them, but they're not even getting them.
Orlando's only made 3 threes here in the second half. All coming on the hot hand of Dennis Scott. Shaq posting up on Antonio Davis. Has his way with Davis. What a game for the big fella.
Wow, the big fella is working to get excellent low post position. He's catching that ball so deep.
34 for O'Neal, who only averaged 20 during the regular season against Indiana. Miller to the hole is hammered hard.
That was a great offensive player saying, I'm beating you baseline and taking. Now just watch where he is. Now as soon as he surveys, he's going jump step strong up over the top. Now, well, there's nothing Antonio Davis can do about that. There's such a difference in size, never mind upper body strength.
Reggie with 32 in the ball game. 8 of 10. NBC takes over for the playoffs after tomorrow night, and we wish them well. Game 3, Orlando, Indiana, will be seen on NBC, 3:30 Eastern Time. Game 4, San Antonio, Houston, will be Sunday at 3:30 Eastern Time. Then Orlando, Indiana will play Game 4, same time on Monday.
Now, during that pause, Rick Smits is back in the game at the center position to match up with O'Neal.
O'Neal and Miller with 34. The Magic lead is just at 1. Anderson finger rolls it in, doesn't get it. Indiana with a chance to take the lead.
That's what you've been playing for. A chance to get it done on the road.
Their last lead was 2-0. Smits,
there you go.
The game up or takes the lead by 1.
Great move. If he's going to step up, now's the time to step up. That was an excellent move by Larry Brown.
An 8-2 run by the Pacers. They have the lead by 1.
Two-man game now.
Hardaway, baseline. Scott launches it. Short. Grant keeps it alive. Scott again. No. And all blue jerseys underneath the hoop.
Oh, this is a 3-on-2.
Workman pulls up from 15. Hardaway and O'Neal. Here comes Petty to Shaq. The basket. We have a foul.
That's so tough. You have a 3-on-2. You get a wide open shot. It doesn't drop. And then they come down. This is a hard foul right there. But this guy is so strong, he still knocks it home.
And he has a chance to give the Magic a 2-point lead. He likes it. Points, 14 in the fourth quarter for O'Neal. Indiana wants a timeout.
Now what you're looking for right now is if you go to two-man basketball with Indiana, Rick, if they don't double-team Rick, he's got to play big with the basketball.
Final 150.
There's your curl move. Two-man game, McKee and Smith.
The double by Hardaway. Workman wide open for 3. Anderson the rebound with 1:35 to play. They lead it by 1.
They're bringing Shaq to the ball with a baseline screen by Scott.
Shaq up and under. Whistle and a foul. And it will be on Hayward Workman. That is 5 on Workman.
Anytime that Shaq catches the ball from the left side of the floor, he can just pass it right back out and catch the double teamer because Hayward is just leaving the passer immediately and then repost up even deeper than where he's catching the ball.
Shaq only 6 of 11 from the stripe tonight, but he has put in 36 points total.
Right now, Indiana 2 fulls, Orlando 3.
There you see what Shaq did during the Celtics. Came up big time in the Bulls in the fourth quarter. 56%, and in game 1 of the fourth, he was 2 for 2. Jackson back in. Workman will sit down.
Indiana, you must block out now. Make sure no one comes over your back to keep if he misses.
That was way short. Hardaway takes it away.
You get beat to the ball. Amazing.
Hardaway sees some daylight. Scott lets it fly. Air ball. Shaquille is going to be hammered to the floor.
Yeah, I mean, he went for the block. That's not going to be a 2 and out of bounds on the side. No way. Dale Davis is a shot blocker.
Here's fifth. Penalty situation.
They went slow. Yeah, keep an eye on this. That was an air ball. Now, if Smits pushes in the back, Dale Davis gets the shot block.
Well, Smits now with 5 personal fouls. Antonio Davis with 5, Haywood Workman with 5, and Shaq will be at the line to shoot a couple of more. 7 for 13 tonight from the stripe.
Well, this is what all the extra practice does. I mean, he's worked very hard through the playoffs every day, shooting hundreds of foul shots. Now, during the course of the season, he only shot 53%. But come, for the playoffs, he's at 64%. You're just hoping. He's been doing it here in the last 2 rounds.
And he gets both of them there. He is now 7 for 9 in the fourth quarter in this series, and the Magic have upped the lead to 4.
As far as strategy goes, Indiana is down to only 1 timeout. Orlando still has 3 fulls. You have a minute to play. You have plenty of time. We're going to have a number of possessions at both ends of the floor. Main thing right now is Larry's going to go to what he feels is his strength. And it has been right now McKee and Smits on the one side. But this Harvey Grant. But you cannot fall asleep and forget about a ball reversal and Reggie Miller.
I think the Magic may have had their sets tuned on in game 1 of the Knicks-Pacers series.
Remember, Shaq has been playing with 5 fouls.
Davis will bring the inbounds pass in. Miller works his way around. They get it out front to Jackson.
Now, right now, they just screen for McKee. They bring Reggie out.
Miller for 3. Doesn't get it. Rebound. Grant tracks down the loose ball and calls a timeout before he falls out of bounds. Right in front of us, it'll be Dennis Scott triggering the inbounds pass. 54.2 left in the game.
Well, Dennis was mentioning to you that he was kind of stunned by his last air ball.
Yeah, he was a little shocked.
Good defense here.
That'll be a 5-second call.
All right.
Dennis Scott thought he got it in.
Now, that's priceless. That's great defense. They denied the 3 areas. The corner, left of the key, and the guy coming up to the top.
Mark Jackson back in. Workman sits down. Still 54.2 left, a 4-point Magic lead.
Now Smits is in there right now. They have Smits, Dale Davis, and McKee up front. Jackson and Miller at the guards. Now we have a double stack. Reggie's coming out the left side. They switch.
McKee tries to give it to Smith. Still 10 to shoot, a lot of time.
Oh, go right back in. Yes. Oh, bad pass.
Back to McKee. 1 dribble inside. Oh, Rick Smits with a windmill jam.
Now, 33 seconds. You know you're going to get the ball back. It's imperative now that Indiana plays great defense. Hold them to 1 shot. Orlando's got to use their head now. High screen and roll. Oh, it's a mismatch off the dribble. Mismatch right here.
Hardaway dancing around. 7 to shoot. Anderson for 3. Have mercy. never even
Watch
stopped.
this, watch this. Look where he is, almost out of bounds. Did not even look inside.
His second three of the night, the reaction by his teammates. That put him up by 5 with just 13.9 left to be played.
Now, right now, that was Indiana's last timeout. You only have 13 seconds, 13.9 seconds. So you know that you've got to have a quick start. If they give you the 3, you take the 3. But if you get a quick 2, in 2 or 3 seconds, you must put on the full court press. Don't assume that they're going to call timeout. Deny hard. Well, they're going to take the ball at half court naturally because of the time situation. The big thing right now, if you're Orlando, you do not want to foul early and stop this clock. You want to make them earn their shot.
With the Pacers, 13.9 is an eternity when you have Reggie Miller.
All teams have a quick play that will get him a good shot in 2 or 3 seconds.
Miller around Anderson, running, three-pointer, banks it home! Have mercy!
He's got to deny. He's got to get to the man.
Hardaway to Grant, to the hole. Count the basket, we have a foul.
Incredible.
Reggie Miller banking home the 3, but the Magic right back down the other end.
As soon as you hit that score, you have got to get to a man. That was a heads-up play. Just watch this shot. This is an incredible shot. Look how it grabs the ring. But you see, they fall asleep on the right side. 2 guys run the man out of bounds. 2 guys run the first. And the bad rotation right there.
And Grant completes the three-point play. Pacers out of timeout.
Just don't foul.
Miller for 3, doesn't get it, and the Orlando Magic will head to Indiana with a 2-0 lead in the best-of-7 Eastern Conference Finals. The final, 119-114. If there is solace for the Indiana Pacers, they are 10-2 at home in the playoffs under that man, Larry Brown.
After another tightly contested battle, the Magic would once again defeat the Pacers, this time 119-114. Although Pacers' great Reggie Miller led his team with 37 points, the Magic men were not to be outdone. Shaquille O'Neal had 39 points and 10 rebounds, while Dennis Scott, a.k.a. 3D, chipped in with 25 points to help seal the victory. The Magic would eventually defeat the Pacers in 7 games to advance to the NBA Finals for the first time in franchise history. Thank you for making us a part of your viewing day and watching this edition of Hardwood Classics on NBA TV. I'm Rick Kamla. We'll see you next time.